How you doing, Chandler?
Hello, hello, everyone. Let me see. Got like 1,000 tabs open, so I'm trying to clear up everything here for me. Let's see. Awesome. Awesome. Well, really excited to get things rocking and rolling. I know a couple people are still rolling in, and I know a few people had appointments. So I know we'll be watching on YouTube, but excited to have everyone on the call today. We have a really, really, really special call. It's something that is really I don't want to like steal his thunder or anything, but it's going to be something that's going to help transform a lot of your businesses because it's one of those products that we could offer our clients that's going to help change everything. Because it's just one of those additional things. Because again, it goes back to really what we're all about, right? Being full service, helping our clients with everything that they need, not only now but at any point, right? If it's now, if it's 10 years down the line, if it's 20 years, whatever it may be, we want to help our clients to the best of our ability possible. So. This is one of those products, debt consolidation, that it's so important, it's so vital. So I'm excited to learn more about it because it's something that I personally don't know too much about. So I'm actually really excited to have my own pen and paper here. But really briefly, before we turn it over to Armin, I'm gonna go over some of our numbers from last week. And I'm gonna try and run through these really quickly because again, I want to give as much time as I can over to him. So let's go ahead and let's look over our weekly submitted last week from all producers over 1,000. And then we'll go to our top five. So starting off, we have Hope, we have Barrett, Henry, Jeanette, Taylor, Jeff, Kyle, Andre, Casey, Vaughn, and then now getting into 2,000s, we have Mallory kicking us off 2,000 over 5 apps. We have Jeremico Edwards himself, way to go. Camille, Ricky, Marissa, Chris, Chauncey, Crystal, Jude, Josue. Wait, man, he's killing it. He had last week he had over 5,000 and fallen back up with another week of over 2,000. Way to go. Robert Averett there with 2,000 as well, and then going up to now 3,000. Tarshala, way to go, 3,000 over 1 app. Janet Brush, $3,759 over 3 apps. Mercedes, way to go, $3,908.76 over 3 apps last week. And then now get into 4,000s. Tiffany with $4,008.60 over 1 app. Tyler, way to go, man. $4,668 over one app. And then Amanda with $4,768 over 32 cents over two apps last week. And now let's go over to our top five. So Boss Man himself, again, he was traveling all week. So again, still found a way to sneak in a couple apps there. $5,087.64. Way to go. Sydney, $5,683.20 with six apps. Way to go, Sydney. David, 6,000 for one app. Looks like probably got an annuity in there. And then what a jump from 6,000 all the way up to 10,000, sorry. $10,492.92 over nine apps. Way to go, Sabrina. And then number one last week alone, one app for 25,000, Mr. Adam Burge. I know he has a ton of annuities and a ton of things moving right now, so I'm sure that those numbers will probably just keep piling on. So way to go, Adam. Now let's look at our top five. Well, maybe. Let's see. Okay, top five paychecks last week. Let's start at number five, Mark, with $4,119.75. Cisco with $6,090.37. Mike Guerra, $7,366.87. Way to go. And then Nick Greco with $10,772.42. And then number one last week, Marty with $13,130.66. And I actually just was talking with Holly, and actually it seems like he just wrote another annuity like today. So he is on an annuity roll. Way to go, Marty. So just keep piling them on, man. Way to go. And then now let's look at our top five year-to-date producers. We brought this back because we haven't shown it in a little while, but we wanted to show it to kind of give everybody a little bit of an update as far as where everyone's at right now. So we have Kath there at number five with a little over 200,000 this year, over 23 apps. Mark Hutchison, 210,000 over 62 apps. Way to go. And then Jeremico leading the way in application count. Way to go. So 236,000 over 263 applications this year. Way to go, Jeremy. Go. And then David with 287,000 over 229 apps. Super close. And then Adam Burge alone, number one, $342,782.76 over 96 applications this year so far. So way to go, Adam. And again, I know he has a bunch of annuities he's trying to close out before the end of the year. So I'm excited to see, where we can get even farther with that. So looking at recruiting last week. So all with one completed fast track, Vincenzo and Donald, both way to go. Donald also had a contract and Chrissy also had a contract. Base Shop led the way with fast tracks with 3 and 4 contracts last week. And then we had 2 enrolled in licensing last week alone. So again, with all this data, please continue to send us your numbers. I know we don't always get the best data from some of the carriers, so continue to send us as much information as you can. And then lastly, just looking at Steven's schedule. I know he's back in town for right now for a couple weeks, thankfully, so kind of rest up a little bit. But then back November 17th, he's heading out to Stamford, Connecticut, and then the 18th, he's heading out to Nashville. So definitely go ahead and write those dates down, get as many people as you can out there so we can get have some nice meetings there with Steven. So yeah, I think that's all I got. So Armin, are you on? Can you hear me? Or I guess wait, can we hear you?
I am on. Yes, can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you. I can't. I mean, I can see you talking, but I can't hear you. Let me make sure.
My video is on.
Okay, there we go. Now it kicked on. Perfect.
No, I don't see anybody else. Is that normal?
Yeah. We live stream it to YouTube, so it's just me
Got
and you.
it, got it, got it, got it.
Yeah. So, Armin, is a pleasure, man. I appreciate you bearing with us. I know we've had to reschedule a couple of times. It's been a crazy couple of weeks here. We're trying to wrap things up for the year, but no, really excited to hear, about everything you guys are doing for the product. So honestly, I'm gonna just turn things over to you. I made you a co-host, so you should be able to share your screen and everything.
Okay.
But I'm gonna let you just, go for it, take a swing at it. If you need anything, let me know. But I'm excited to hear what you got, man.
Okay. And how much time do we have?
We usually end this call roughly around 1:30, 1:35, somewhere around there. So if we can try to keep it there, great. A few minutes over, it might be okay.
Can you just give me, sorry, I'm in a different time zone and I'm trying to do math.
Oh yeah. So which time are you in Central?
I'm in Pacific.
You're in Pacific. Okay. So right now it is
10:07.
10:07. Okay, so 10:35.
Time is 10:07 a.m. Pacific
Okay,
Standard
so we got about 25 minutes.
Yeah, 25, 30 minutes.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, perfect. That way I can kind of pace myself. All right, so let's jump right in. PowerPoint should be on.
Yep, we see it.
Excellent. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for your patience as well. I've actually been staying busy, and we've been hitting a lot of hotspots with Andy. So we're very excited. We're already starting to see results, and let's jump right in. So right now, there's a lot of needs out there, and the families that you're talking to every single day have insurance needs, they have estate planning needs, and there's a lot of different financial needs out there. One of the biggest needs out there today is help with debt. The reality is that whatever we're seeing right now on the news, they're talking about rate cut this, rate cut that. For the average American, it's not going to fix their situation. The reality is that they're already maxed out and they're already drowning, and it's too late, right? Eventually, sure, there will be some opportunities for borrowing some money, but right now, most people don't need to borrow. Most people need to get out of debt. So if we're going to start just at the top and kind of set the tone here of what it looks like, what the temperature looks like right now, we still have Fortune 500 companies that are laying people off by tens of thousands. Now, they've been doing this for quite a while now, and it's still happening. And in some cases, it's a little bit more aggressive, right? So aggressive that it actually makes the news. Our national debt, we're at $37 trillion. It's been out of control. It still is out of control. Consumer debt's out of control. Credit card debt is an all-time high. Interest rates are still at an all-time high. There's a lot of mortgages now. Data shows that a lot of mortgages, they're underwater. There's a lot of auto loans that are now spiking. We're looking at a 20-year all-time high, I believe, when we look at default rates and delinquency rates. So there's a big disaster happening right now, and it's all happening all at the same time. And then, of course, let's not forget the cost of living and inflation, right? And you couple all these things together, and it's really what it's doing. It's wiping out the middle America, right? There's a big problem. There's a big debt crisis. I'm not suggesting that we are in the recession. I'm not suggesting we're in the eye of the storm. Uh, but what I am saying is that if we're not there already, we're certainly headed in that direction. What does that mean to every single one of you guys? Well, when you're in financial services, obviously there's a lot of products that families need, right? Regardless of what their needs are. And the reality is that a broke customer or a financially stressed out customer is less likely to buy. So it's important for us to pay attention to the writing on the wall and then look for those opportunities to not only, an opportunity for you to earn an additional stream of income because of the chaos that's going on in the market right now, but also an opportunity to leave the client financially stronger so that your business that you're writing is going to stick. It's going to be a little stickier. So big challenge right now, big debt crisis going on, and all that means for you and I is there's a big opportunity for us to help people with their debt. Now, when it comes to the industry, just a little quick overview. This is a rhetorical question, but if we were in person right now, I would ask you, do you believe that timing is important, right? So in any type of a sales model, any type of a product or a service in sales, urgency is important. If we look at what's going on right now in the market, if you look at our industry, the debt relief, debt consolidation, debt settlement industry, back in 2012, if you took all the companies together and you looked at how much debt we enrolled, it was roughly about $1.6 billion. Now we fast forward to 2020, that number goes from 1.6 billion to 45 billion roughly, right? So it's 2,500% increase. Now the question here is, what's changed between 2012 and 2020? Are people all of a sudden just smarter? Financial literacy just improving? Are they reading Ray Dalio books about debt cycles? Like, what's going on? And in my humble opinion, I think what's really going on is that life is getting tougher. Debt is getting more difficult to maintain, right? Every time the interest rates go up, minimum payments go up. And the reality is that an average American is having a difficult time managing their debt. And when the pain threshold is surpassed, more and more people out there today are out there looking for solutions to do something with their debt. So the urgency is built in. You don't have to convince people. I don't have to convince people to be open-minded, to look at some options to get out of debt because of how much it's hurting them financially today. So back to my original point, timing is important, okay? And the timing couldn't be better right now for you to have this conversation with your clients. Now, on the right side, we have two charts. One is our national credit card debt chart. The other one is our savings that we've had during COVID. So 2020, we we printed $6 trillion, and then we really couldn't go out and spend it, right? Lockdowns, face masks, you guys remember. So what happened is we actually, while we stayed indoors, we saved some money and we paid off some of our debt. I mean, we've never seen numbers like this. We've never seen our national credit card debt drop so much, and we've never seen our average excess savings. We reached 2.1 trillion. Now, here's the sad part. The moment that lockdowns were lifted, we spent all the credit and we spent all the savings. Just let that sink in for 1 second. We spent all the credit and we spent all the savings. Now, our economy has been hanging on by a thread because it's been in a spend economy. But what happens when the runway runs out? What happens when the credit is maxed out? Well, now all you can do is just pay, right? And you would think we would stop spending, and we kept raising the rates so people would stop spending. And guess what? We still haven't stopped spending. And I say that is because you could literally do a buy now, pay later on DoorDash. Like, think how crazy this is. Outrageous. Buy now, pay later on DoorDash. You can buy food with buy now, pay later. So while these guys are coming up with creative ways of getting people into more debt, right? We got to look at what story is this chart telling us. Well, the story is very simple. We are, as a consumer, professional spenders. And the reality is that people's mindset of, well, I'm going to take care of this debt on my own, the chances are the data disagrees, right? So once the lockdowns were lifted, credit was spent, savings are gone. What's next? Well, let's talk about the opportunity, guys. So based on just our track record, and again, this number is probably well over $400 million by now, but we've been able to successfully enroll few $100 million worth of debt, and then at this point resolve a few $100 worth of debt. And when we look at what are the benefits, what are some of the key points that we have to take away from this call, you'll hear this a lot. You'll hear people say this. You'll hear your leaders say this, that the nice thing about this service is that you don't need a license to be able to start to offer it to your clients and earn a commission. And that's all fine and dandy. But look at this number here in cash flow, guys. 5 million plus at this point in cash flow created for an average family that we enroll in our program. Well, what does that mean to you? Well, what it means to you as an insurance agent is now you can reallocate that extra discretionary income that you're injecting back into the household towards insurance products and services. So my point is this: yes, you don't need a license to use our service, but when you do have a license, you need to use it as a leverage tool to be able to sell even more insurance and obviously help a family. And what I can tell you is right now, we got more licensed and unlicensed agents with models like yours that are earning commissions with us than ever before. We got more families saving a ton of money today, more than ever before. We're going to also roll out a bunch of social media tools, which are going to be a lot of fun for you guys, that you're going to be able to generate additional leads through social media. I'm going to let Andy kind of drive that one and let us know how he wants to roll it out. But we have the tools. We're still obviously in the beginning stages. We're working on Alliance back office, and then we'll share with you our simple back office that we already have that's live for you to be able to start submitting referrals. But there's still a lot of work to be done. This is a fairly new relationship, and we got both teams on both sides working diligently to make sure that you guys get all these tools faster. Marketing support, English and Spanish, sales, customer service, training. I mean, we support the Spanish market extremely well. We understand that there's a high demand in that community, and we've never been more prepared. When it comes to client benefits, I'm going to keep this really simple. I'm going to jump straight into a case study because we do have a little bit of a limited time today. So interest and principal savings, debt-free in 2 to 4 years, and then obviously more discretionary income after the enrollment into our program. It's going to be a win-win-win every single time for you and for your clients. This is an actual case study. Jane comes to us from a insurance appointment. The agent had an opportunity to have a conversation with Jane. They go through their process, the needs analysis. They discovered that Jane had credit card debt, which, by the way, I can confirm that in your financial needs analysis that you do with your client, well, that you should do with your client, there's a box in there where you ask about their debts. So literally, that's one of the best parts about this relationship, is that once you identify that, all you have to do is just send in a referral, set the right expectations, and we do everything else for you. So Jane came to us in that fashion. We pull her credit, we get her on the line, we pull her credit, we discover she's got 16 credit cards and 2 loans. As you can take a quick glance here, we're all familiar with all these banks, right? We got Bank of America, we got Capital One, Citibanks. I mean, Discover, we know what their jingle is. We know who these guys are. And what happened is that we discovered she's paying right now $1,400 a month and change, while she's already delinquent on some of these accounts. Now, I want you just for a second, put yourself in her shoes. What kind of a stress level that you must be going through when you're shelling out $1,400 a month, single mom, 2 kids, her mother that's got, I don't know what, beginning stages of dementia, living with them, working multiple jobs, paying $1,400 in interest every month while she's falling behind on her debt, right? That's not a position that you wish even for your enemy to be in. Now, this woman is doing this every single month, and there's only one reason that she's doing it. It's not because she's stupid. It's not because she's stubborn. It's because she just doesn't know. Most people don't know. They don't look at their options. They don't know. So we have a decision to make here. Do we refer her to mediator, or do we try to convince her how much she needs the help? Let me show you what happens if she misses this appointment. If she misses this appointment, she's going to be on track to pay back 170 grand and change over the next 10 years. Now, that is just sad and outrageous. I don't think anybody should be paying this kind of money on interest and not getting out of debt. So that's half the problem. But here's the other half. The question is, do I refer her to mediator, or do I convince her how much she needs this service? Because you believe that we're going to be able to help her. So here's the challenge. If you engage in that second part and you try to convince her, Jane might not come to us and get her referral and get her consultation. And then she's going to be back on this track as well. So my point is this: it's extremely important that you trust the process, you trust the relationship, and you just set the right expectations with Jane. And you say, Jane, we're going to refer you to our debt relief partner for a free consultation. Not promise her we're going to slash her debt in half. None of that. It's really important that she understands that it's a free consultation. And no matter what question Jane asks you, you learn how to defer. Be a professional and defer. You're not the expert, and nor do you have the tools to be able to properly address her questions once she starts asking them. So if you want to be able to help clients like Jane, the best course of action is send in a referral and don't try to oversell or get in your own way. Now, what did we do for Jane? She went from $1,400 a month to $610 a month. Just think about that. What it does to her psyche. How much relief now she has next month going into it, saying, I don't have to come up with $1,400 worth of payments, and while I'm still getting into more debt. So again, extremely important that we focus on the referral and we care enough about Jane not to interrupt that transfer and that referral. And then unfortunately, God forbid, we oversell, and then now Jane says, no, I'm not interested. Well, of course she's not interested, because we haven't been able to actually give her a consultation to help her see exactly what we can offer. So I hope you take this, really seriously and really insist on the consultation versus trying to convince the client yourself. This is John. I'm going to go through this quickly because I want to cover some of the other things in a little bit more detail. 50K, fewer creditors, lower monthly payments. And as you could see, in his case, we were able to create just shy of $400 worth of cash flow. Point of the second case study is just to show you that everybody's circumstances are going to be slightly a little bit different. So again, we don't know that. You don't know that. The only right approach is send in a referral, allow our team to do a thorough analysis, a thorough consultation, review all the debt with them, go over the budgets, go over their needs, figure out all their assets, all their liabilities, and figure out what's in their best interest. And then we're going to let them decide. So let's make sure we're not doing too much or talking too much. What do the qualifications look like? Very simple, guys. Minimum debt is $7,500. When you're going through your process, when you're going through the alliance process that you guys have in place right now, okay? you discover the client has $7,500 or more in unsecured debt, that should be an automatic referral with you setting proper expectations. If you really, really want to take it to the next level, get good at profiling their debt, asking open-ended questions, whether it's in person or on a phone call, and use this opportunity to build a relationship with the client. You're like, well, Armin, how does that work? Me talking about their debt? No, not you talking about it. You asking questions that are open-ended and then them talking about it. Big difference. There's a big difference between you presenting all the bells and whistles about our program versus you asking open-ended questions and letting them share with you all the nuances. For example, you discover someone's got $80,000 in credit card debt. My question is, you know, at some point is, if you don't mind sharing with me, how did this debt accumulate? Right? Did something happened? Right? Was there an event that created this situation? And what you're looking for is you're looking for a client to feel comfortable enough with you to start sharing with you. And if your client at any point starts sharing with you any part of their financial hardship and you just take a step back and listen, what a win. What a win. Even if you don't find any debt that's qualified for our program, your client's going to like you a little bit more. And as a result, might do business with you, right? So why? Because people do business with people they like and they trust. So these are some of the different types of debt we work with. They're also on the website in case you forget. Client does not have to be delinquent for you to refer them to us. And ITIN numbers are also acceptable. Okay. We work with unsecured debt versus secured. Again, if there's collateral, there's not much we can do. If you're not sure, refer them anyways. No harm, no foul. We'll figure it out. Agent benefits, we'll talk about, well, we've been talking about it, right? There's a lot of value here. You can monetize. If you're spending money on leads and you're going to write a certain amount of business, imagine adding to that bottom line by also offering another service that is extremely in high demand right now. You're monetizing on a marketing budget that you had already spent money on. What a great opportunity to go back to anybody else over the last 45, 60 days that didn't buy insurance from you. Right? If you have somebody that didn't buy insurance from you, what an opportunity to go back now and offer this service. And guess what? The chances are very high that they might say, you know what? I do have a bunch of credit card debt. What can you do for me? Create that referral, build that credibility, and then you never know, you might earn their insurance business anyways later. It's going to help with retention, right? Getting people paid faster is a big deal in this industry. So especially if you're recruiting brand new reps that aren't licensed yet, wow, what an opportunity to get them paid before they are licensed. Think about what I just said. You have an opportunity, and there's no easier product or service that they can literally go home, refer their uncle with zero training, and get paid on the file because we do all the work. They just have to know that we can help people potentially to get out of debt, right? And most people are going to be very receptive to that conversation. This is what the comp plan is, guys. We pay 2%, okay? And it's paid out to the grid at 100% scale. So depending on your contract level, you see some examples, right? So if you're an IBA, you're at 55%. If you referred me a client that has $100,000 worth of enrolled debt, you're earning $1,100 in commissions that you're going to collect over month one, month two, as an ABA. And then you could see, obviously, that scales. I know that the commission goes up well past over 120%. I just kind of picked those points to demonstrate how much income opportunity you guys have, no matter at what level you're at. And there's no chargebacks. So that's a big deal, especially in the insurance world, right? So no chargebacks. Debt relief alternatives, do nothing. I wouldn't recommend it. We talked about timing is important, right? Urgency is through the roof right now. And it's not because of you and I, it's because of the economy. It's because of the financial pain through the roof right now, and people are a little bit more open-minded. So it's a little bit difficult today to do nothing, but nonetheless, it's still an option. Debt consolidation, great for people that have low utilization and that are high income earners with high credit scores, right? But that's not our demographic. That's not most of our clients. Consumer credit counseling, it's not terrible. It's better than doing nothing. But with counseling, you pay back all of your debt plus some interest. With us, you pay no interest and we settle your debt for less than what you actually owe. So money-wise, it doesn't make sense to pay more and longer. But I will say it's better than doing nothing. Bankruptcy should be the absolute last resort. if you got a client that's remotely considering bankruptcy, you have to insist on a consultation with us. Bankruptcy should be the absolute last resort. Just because somebody qualifies for bankruptcy doesn't make it their best choice. That means that it's their last choice. That settlement is what we do. We're going to eliminate your client's debt for less money in a shorter amount of time. Okay. And more importantly, two things you got to know about the slide. Number one is we're going to educate your client about all these options. Okay. It's a very educational sale, informative sale. This is not a hard close type of a sale. Number two, if you come across a client and you identify they have debt and they say it's already taken care of, well, guess what? I got news for you. It's not already taken care of. You need to insist on a second opinion. We don't know who they signed up with. We don't know if they're with a reputable company. We don't know if they're actually even paying off their debt. They could be involved in a bunch of other things that aren't even on this list. So we will help them look at that. I'm reading Andy's book right now, and I know that part of your 8 core values, right? One of them is excellence, and one of them is service, right? So for us, that resonates. We got shared values as an organization, and our number one shared value is always do what's in the best interest of the client. So if it's not a good fit for them, we're not going to slam them into the service just because. How do you submit? It's very simple, guys. Scan this QR code, take a screenshot. It's going to take you to naa.mediator.solutions.com. Now, there's going to be other phases of development and merger between the technology, between your existing back office and this back office. But for now, this is live, this is ready to go, and you can start taking advantage of it, okay? And if you scan the QR code, it's going to take you to naa.mediator.solutions. Info is a good support email. 800 is a great number for your existing clients that enrolled. And then I just added an existing lead callback number. Please write this down. This is really important. 877-873-0348. You're going to have clients that you refer to us. They're going to say, nobody called me. That happens all the time. We make 10,000 calls a week. Our number could show up as spam, right? So 2 things. Number one is you only give this number to somebody that you actually submitted into our system physically, going through naa.mediator. After you create the lead, then you can provide that number. If you provide that number and you do not create the lead, there's 0 chance you might get credit for that, okay? Like, think about it. It's really important. We won't be able to track it. So that number is only for existing leads. The first 800 number is for people that actually become a customer, right? That's customer service line. This number is for the sales line. So that way they can call back and one of the team members for sure will be available. The chances of that is extremely high. So that way they can connect with us when it is convenient for them for whatever reason, if we were missing them or they just didn't recognize the number and didn't take our call, right? So I think I over-explained that, but it's really important. It has to be already an existing lead. And last slide, this is something that we've been building. So the picture in the middle is when I met Andy for the first time. When we have a little bit more time, I'll tell you guys the full story. But it's we've covered a lot of territory. We've probably been now, I want to say maybe 7 or 8 hotspots, and we just got started. Obviously, one big event, a bunch of hotspots. I'm probably going to be at the cabin. I don't know for how many days. There's an event that's coming up. To kind of get to know some of the leadership, but so far it's been a blast. We're getting to know the local leaders in local areas. We've been doing a ton of these. I got 2 more Zooms like this for different hierarchies today. So we're very excited. There's a lot of leads already coming in, by the way. I believe last week somebody got an enrollment already, $37,000 referral. So again, this is the short version. Hopefully I was able to add some value. I'm not sure if Chandler, we have time to take questions or even how it would work, but you tell me.
Yeah, I actually just dropped a couple into the Zoom chat here.
Okay.
So there's 2 questions that I saw. They're both from Sabrina.
Okay, let's take a look. What are the implications to their credit? Okay, excellent question. So everybody will be impacted differently. So some clients, it will affect their credit drastically. Other clients, not so much. What I can tell you from experience is that if you talk to your client about credit, you can kiss goodbye to ever referring them to us. the referral will not happen. Jane could have not come to us because of the conversation about credit. It's just the nature of the beast. I promise to you one thing, we're going to help the client discover where they're at with their credit, what's important to them, and ultimately what will happen. Will it go up or down or left or right? But allow us to have that conversation. And more times than not, the client has enough common sense to say, you know what, I understand. Even though it's going to impact me here, I'm not getting anywhere anyways. I'm not qualified for a house anyways. So a great question. It comes up a lot. And you got to be the master of deflecting it, because the truth is that your answer wouldn't be accurate anyways. You could be talking to somebody about hurting their credit that's a 450 FICO score. You're just wasting your and their time. Next question. Is there a breakdown of what type of debt is acceptable? Yes. So we had a slide of different types of debt, but if you go to naa.mediatordebtsolutions.com, I just put the link in their chat. The very first page has a cheat sheet.
That's awesome.
Questions, by the way.
Yeah, no, I think that's all the questions I'm seeing. Yeah, no, I think that's all the questions I'm seeing. Seen a lot of thank yous, a lot of, really excited about it. A lot, and in your slides are, I mean, those are perfect. So I mean, it was very, very clear, perfect to the point. That's exactly what we needed.
Okay.
So,
I'd like to do something else before I sign out.
Yeah, totally.
I like to give everybody that tuned in my number.
Yeah, that'd be great.
If you guys have any follow-up questions, you can reach out. The only thing that I ask for is that you take a selfie and send me your picture and send me your full name. So that way, when you do reach out, I know where the information is coming from. So my number is, my personal number is 818-524-1144. Okay. So picture and your full name, please. So that way I can also save you in my phone book.
And I just dropped your phone number, first and last name into the chat as well. So
awesome.
Again, Armin, I really appreciate it. Again, I know it's been kind of a crazy couple, weeks trying to get things lined up, but this is perfect. This is exactly what we needed. I know a lot of our advisors are already thinking of clients that they can go back to right now. So no, I really, really appreciate it. If you ever need anything from us, just let us know. But no, awesome. This was perfect. So thank you, Armin. Thank you everyone for hopping on today. Hope you guys have a great week, and let's get things going.
Bye-bye. Thank you.